Welcome to South Harmon.
What's good, everybody? Wednesday night AMA. We're live and in the building. Look at this, too, man. Starting right on time. This is a new day and age.
9:30. Prompt.
Oh, what? Look, what is that shirt, man?
Oh,
what is that shirt you're wearing?
Money Moves, baby. Money Moves
Oh.
is actually coming live and in person, buddy, this week. Tomorrow or Friday. One of the two. But it's recorded. I'm just working on the editing now.
You're telling me Money Moves is coming back?
It's back, buddy. Whether you believe it or not, it's back.
Let's go.
It's like going in a time
baby.
machine. Yeah, cheers to you, buddy. Hey, you know what? As a matter of fact, let's talk. I actually have a mint money green shirt giveaway for watching the Money Moves. But speaking of which, before we get to that, let's not put the cart in front of the horse, buddy. Let's go ahead and just discuss. We have some Patreon on crime merch. Do you want to do the giveaway? Let's ask the chat. Do you want to do the giveaway right up front, or you want to wait a little bit? Talk a little Dynasty first.
I think we let people settle in a little bit.
Thought.
You know what I mean?
That's what I thought.
You really give them what they came for. Then we'll give them the merch.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, yeah.
Well,
there we go.
Let me ask you this. On the thumb, Bhayshul Tuten. Where are you at with Bhayshul Tuten after his performance in week 2?
I was a little bit worried heading into the week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we all, from a dynasty perspective, want Bhayshul Tuten to, have a big share, if not the entirety of this backfield. We do.
Sure.
I think we understand that they like Travis Etienne, and whether they're playing him up to trade him because they're not very good or whatever the case may be,
sure.
he was going to get quite a bit of work. I think probably the most concerning thing was, though, week 1, the thing that gave me pause, week 1 was LaQuint Allen being out there, on third downs and actually having a role where Bhayshul was, just a handful of touches, and you went, oh, shit, like maybe we got too excited about the wrong rookie running back on the Jags, and as soon as the Bigsby trade happens, you go, well, now there's an opportunity, but please, dear sweet baby Jesus, don't let this be LaQuint Allen. Don't let this be LaQuint Allen. And prayers were answered. Okay, it was not.
LaQuint Allen. Yeah, he got. It seemed like he took a decent step back as far as snaps and touches for sure, right? So with that said, Etienne and Toutin, where are you at moving into week 3 with both of these players here?
Toutin's going to be the sexier one, right? And it's going to be
for sure.
It's probably going to be a while before we see him with a great snap share. I mean, he was only at 25% at the end of the day, but it's a big step up from 6.3%. So we're moving in the right direction.
Yep.
And kind of like with a lot of rookies, why I preach a lot of patience too, is because they're going to start off with small snap shares, kind of like Toutin does. But then if you go out there and you're explosive, or you make wild plays, splash plays, and help the team win, you're going to get a bigger opportunity, a much bigger opportunity. So I think you want to keep seeing that progression, right? Like, so if this week it comes out and it's closer, let's say 35%, we're working our way up. We're working our way up to that nice 1B type role.
Yeah.
I think we just got a little bit of hurdles to clear before it is let's fucking party. Let's take our pants off and have a great night.
Yeah, I mean, let me ask you, because with that said, I think that's what people are trying to project. Is this just kind of a stepping stone week by week where we start to see him start to eat more into ETN, or is this something where you still think there's a long way until that's the case?
The way that they are using Travis Hunter right now.
Yikes.
Let's just say the faith in the coaching staff doing the right thing and organizations doing the right thing. We've seen a lot of mismanagement, not just from this one, but from a lot of teams over the years.
Yeah.
Cautious optimism. How about that? Right.
Okay.
I want to jump on board. I caution people not to get too over their skis on it. Right. Like
that's fair.
If this was a good sign for you and you feel a little bit more comfortable sending a little bit more than you did last week, by all means, just don't get crazy where it's like, dude, I already sent it. I'm a middle of the road team. I already sent in my 26 first. Like, Jesus.
Let's not,
Chill. Just pump the brakes just a little bit.
Let's say you're a contender, right? Are you interested in buying Toutin now as a contender, or is that something that doesn't make sense, do you think?
It's tough because you see the upside by the end of the season when you really need him as a true contender to be that Bucky Irving from last year type deal, right?
Yep.
The Chase Brown from last year, right? Like a true league winner down the stretch, which would be awesome. The downside is if it's just always going to be 30% touch share and you never reach those levels and then you actually spend significant capital. I think most of the times when I'm on contending teams, Adam, I'm not going to go shop at the sexy store. I'm not going to go shop at the I need to project this out and, cross my fingers and really swing for the home run because there's so many, especially at the running back position, there's so many super crusty running backs that give really good production right now and probably will give really good production towards the end of the season that are going to cost the exact same. And people are more likely to move them, right? They're not going to bend you over a barrel for whether it's Tony Pollard or a James Conner or something along those lines, right? Like they're not the sexiest. Aaron Jones, after he comes back from injury, he could have weeks down the stretch, in that receiving back role. He's still got some explosiveness. Alvin Kamara is unsexy, but throughout history, Alvin Kamara can drop a 30 burger, whenever the fuck he wants sometimes, right? Like the most obscene bad beat playoff loss I've ever seen is facing Alvin Kamara in the fucking championship game. Right, that's gonna haunt me for the rest of my life.
Them Christmas shoes were rough scene if you didn't have them. Mike, honestly, I'm seeing a bunch in the chat on this, and I don't know that I'll ever be able to unsee this. You do kind of look like damn Ron Stewart, and I just had the pleasure of meeting the guy a couple times, and I don't know if I'll be able to unsee this now. Holy shit!
I also see a Seth Rogen.
Yeah, dude. Believe me, we're getting there. I kind of see Jonah Hill. I mean, let's just say this: a celebrity in one shape or form, right? A fantasy football celebrity, an actor, something.
I'll take the money that they have. That'd be nice. If you guys can make that work.
Listen, cart in front of the horse. We're not going to be doing that over here. The money. We wish. It would be awesome. Can you imagine?
That'd be awesome.
Let me ask you this then. With that in mind, what are you doing? Is there a team you're acquiring Toutin? Are you buying him on a rebuilder? Like, with where his price is at, does it even make sense to buy?
Where is he at right now? I know Keep Trade Cut's a little bit laggy, but we do get a pretty good snapshot of how quickly he's rising. Right after last week, where are we going?
I mean, I saw him. I think it was just inside the top 100. If I want to say, let's see. Maybe I'm a little bit outside.
RB28 right now. RB28 right now.
So it looks like
on the rise.
Yeah, he's right now they got him at 112. So here's the neighboring players: Jordan Mason or Toutin.
Give me Toutin.
Okay, even with the injury to Mr. Aaron Jones.
The problem I have with Jordan Mason, and people are still gonna bash me for bashing Jordan Mason, is just he's not a dynamic back or a good pass catching back. Like, can he do it? Yes. Has he shown a propensity to do it a lot over his career? No. I said this to Maddie on Start Sit, and I think it hurt him. I think I actually did hurt him, and I apologize, Maddie, but it's the Minnesota Vikings Brian Robinson. That's kind of where you're at, right? That's what Jordan Mason is.
I mean, is that better than Toutin?
Could be. It could be. It could be. Listen, this is the weird one where I'll take the upside swing on this because I don't think the production's like super solid enough, especially where that offense is.
Mm-hmm.
And when Aaron Jones does get back, like that is the high volume touch kind of guy. That's the guy that you get those. Let's just call them the plays for running backs that we really covet, right? The third down roll, the pass catching work out of the backfield, the running, wheel routes down the sideline. You've already seen Aaron Jones run a route out of the backfield, wheel route down the sideline for a touchdown, in week 1. So that's going to be a constant thorn in Jordan Mason's side.
Let me ask you this then. A couple other ones real quick here. We'll rapid fire, and then we'll move into another player. Sure. Cam Skatapo here. Cam Skatapo won ahead, and that was a quick switch, I would say. The backfield touches and the snap share. Week 1, it looked like he was buried, honestly, Mike. It really did.
It did. It did.
And week 2 did not show that. Where are you at with Cam versus Toutin?
So he got the touches. But the explosiveness between the two is night and day, right? So if I got to lean it, I'm going with the guy who's actually we know is a really good athlete. I don't know if Cam Skatapo is going to have the athleticism enough to put up real numbers in the NFL besides just touchdown work. And do you really want to bank on just touchdown work for the Giants offense? Right? Do you really?
If they're playing the Cowboys every week, hell yeah.
Yeah, well, they'll get them one more time at least. We know that much. I don't know. I mean, it was 3.2 yards per carry against the Cowboys defense, right? And it seemed like everybody was having a day versus them, except for anybody that was playing running back for the Giants. So
4.1.
Okay. Sorry, my bad. On the season. Yeah, my fault. I forgot week one.
It's okay.
Yeah, okay.
I'm only saying that just because I know there's going to be some Cam stands.
There will be.
I'm on the mindset, Mike, that you could pick your poison here. I would rather bet on Toutin, and if it hits, I think there's more upside to capture there. Mm-hmm. But Cam Skatapo could end up being a guy that gets a ton of volume. Last one here, Javonte. Is it close?
I think in this situation, I'd rather roll Javonte.
Same. At the moment, I mean, listen, Javonte right now is 25 years old and is getting a ton of work and all the meaningful work in an offense that looks to be very high-powered. So yes. The issue is this, right? Javonte up 79 spots is probably getting to a dynasty cap here pretty soon, frankly, right? This is the nature of the running back position no one wants to talk about. Unless you're viewed as a him running back, so Javonte didn't get hurt and just continued to produce. If you fall out of favor, there's only so much for you to go up. See, Chuba Hubbard, I guess, would be something like that. He didn't really fall out of favor, but you only can get so high once you
before you get capped.
Yeah, exactly. So the market play, if there is that type of an mentality, if you wanted to bet on Toutin possibly going to the moon, we could see Toutin definitely get probably into the top 15 running backs. That doesn't mean that it's correct. That just means that the way that the market goes, they could value a young player like that. So I think I'd just take Javonte, what seems like the sure thing as far as the volume goes, and just bet on him staying healthy and being in this offense.
What if you flip that around, though? If you weren't a contender and you did have Javonte on your team and somebody was willing to come off their Toutin, say on a contending team, would you move Javonte right now? Or are you going to try to milk a little bit more out of it?
Personally, I think I'd prefer, honestly, to shoot for draft capital, Mike. I'd rather try to see if I could get liquid.
Me too. Me too.
If that didn't exist and you're in a market where, let's say picks are pretty picked over and you could probably do worse. The issue here is that Toutin, for example, that draft capital, right? It's kind of value protected. If Toutin ends up having where LaQuinn Allen does, let's say, start eating more into the snap workload, and let's say ETN really never cedes work. Let's say ETN really stays at that 60+% the entire time. You kind of have an asset that doesn't really go anywhere. So I'd prefer not to. But if you think that's the best you're going to be able to get, I don't really hate it. I think you just need to be really cognizant of if he does have a value spike, trying to move it then.
Jesus, we're fucking 10-team league. So let me just preface that by saying this is a trade that went down in a 10-team league, not mine, because you're not going to find me in one of those things other than my home league, which doesn't count. Ricky Pearsall in a second or Bhayshul Tuten. That's a real trade.
Oh, I'm taking the package there, buddy.
Toutin or Samson?
Toutin.
It's 1 for 1.
Toutin.
Toutin in a first or Christian McCaffrey?
Oh. I'll be honest, man. I have a hard time maybe not taking that package. Not that it couldn't be worth attaching a first to Toutin and you get Christian McCaffrey all year, but man, Mike, the reason here, let me tell you why I think I take the package. Money Move's coming out. It's already recorded. Kind of talks about something similar to this. Not this trade specifically, but just the idea. Mike, let's say I move off of McCaffrey and I get Toutin, right? Obviously, right now, points per game, huge drop-off. Mike, right now at the running back position, let's say we can fast forward to November, December, right? What running backs am I going to be able to buy at that time with that first-round pick?
Just about all of them, right? Other than maybe 6, 7.
Yeah. So if you make this trade, you already know if McCaffrey stays healthy and is him throughout the entire season, that is what it is. But if I could get off of the injury asset and the ups, like the downside risk of it, Mike, and let's say I'm able to pivot back into someone in the range of I don't know, Kenneth Walker, if the snap shares workloads are all right? Like if someone like James Cook, maybe I even have to attach a second, or I can still go get that player. But what if also Toutin starts to become the actual running back one in this offense, and I still have that first to play with now? That's where I would actually take the package here.
I don't hate that one at all. I don't hate that one at all either. Like you said, because of that first. Because of that first, the liquidity of it is really, 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 really nice. Really nice, because you can do stuff with that later.
Yep. I think I would there, but I can understand if people are like, no, it's contending season.
You get to ride the wave of Toutin, but you got that little insurance policy in your back pocket the whole time.
Before we get to Harvey, Mike, let's listen. Tyler Warren has had a hell of a start to his his career. Where are we at right now? 2 weeks in, moving into week 3 with Tyler Warren.
We're getting pretty close to owing Pello an apology.
We're getting close. We're not there yet, Pello. Okay,
not there yet.
Show your face.
Not there yet.
We're not there yet, but we're getting close.
The only thing that's keeping me from apologizing to him is just the general. Because listen, my prospect analysis on Tyler Warren has looked terrible. It's looked really bad. But my analysis on the tight end position as a whole has never looked better, right? Because if you go check out how great Tyler Warren is, and then look at the tight ends above him in fantasy points.
Yeah.
Mike wins. Right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
still holding serve, baby.
The crazy part is that, well, Tyler Warren has been an absolute dog. I'll say that off the
unit.
top. Yeah. There's never been a better time. That could be a little bit of a stretch. I can't recall a better time to be a zero tight end truther at the moment. I mean,
yes.
I can't tell you and predict if it's here to stay, but Mike Jawan Johnson, is right now being traded as if it's here to stay. Producing.
This is fucking hilarious too. The guy right below him, right? The guy right below him that was a non-starter for you in that deal I sent you last week. It was like you were like, nope, I don't want him.
Nope, don't need him. Don't believe. And Mike, here's the thing. I'll tell you the truth too. I have so many damn fucking shares, but there's a bunch of tight ends that are actually producing that you don't have to pay up for. That said, though, Mike, here's the question, and this is ultimately what it will be interesting to see. You got Brock Bowers, who, right now it is what it is, but he still looks to be very much him. People have been kind of clamoring, and we've said it's a little bit extreme. Not a little bit extreme, it's hella extreme to start saying this is the next Brock Bowers. But off to the races, whether right or wrong, Mike, that's what the market is. The people that are clamoring for that, watching this, how far away are we from Brock Bowers 2 weeks in?
You're maybe 1 or 2 more weeks away from there being a conversation. Bowers, McBride, Tyler Warren, right?
Yeah, I mean, right now, I was about to say right now for you, what would you put him at realistically as far as the tight ends go in Dynasty?
For Dynasty value is what he's going for right now.
Let's say you were ranking, you don't, maybe a little freemium for the kids, for the people out there, right?
I mean, I can't make a case for putting him any lower than 3.
Yeah,
at all.
I'm with you. It's 3. I think it's a clear 3. I think there's still a little ways to go, and when I say a little ways, probably a long ways to go. Proving it for a while before he gets to McBride, but let's just call it what it is. I mean, that means he passed Sam Laporta. Like, clearly, clear as day, right? To me, he has. And then when you start thinking about the rest of the field, it's like it feels like there's multiple tiers before we get to anyone else, really. Now, Tucker Kraft just has a seismic rise, but I don't know how willing I am to buy into that. I'm not sure if I'm willing to buy into him as a legitimate top 5 tight end in Dynasty just yet.
He's got. I
like Tucker Kraft, yeah, but come on.
He's got to do it for multiple weeks in a row, because the biggest problem with the Packers offense is, here today, gone tomorrow. If you're any type of receiving option.
Speaking of gone tomorrow, Jaden Reed, seems to be gone tomorrow, so that does help. But for the record right now, Keep Trade Cut Mike says tight end 4 is Tucker Kraft. So
that would be an easy sell for me.
I guess the point is, though, Tyler Warren right now, cross-positionally, not in our world because we know how we hate the tight end position. We just don't value it. I mean, is it crazy to say he's in the range of a Bucky Irving?
No. For a lot of people, no.
Is it crazy to say he's in the range of a... I don't want to get super crazy, but...
Go ahead.
Fuck it. James Cook. I mean, Chase Brown.
Yep.
Are we here?
Yep.
Are we here? Let's talk receivers, because this one I think is not necessarily quite as easy. Rome in his ascension to start the year. Is he in the range of that?
Mm-hmm.
Jiminy Christmas.
Because I think you'll find more leagues than not. Some people are going to prefer Tyler Warren over your boy, Amech Ibuka.
Probably. I mean, the thing is about Ibuka, too. I mean, his dynasty values, seemingly. This is why it's just crazy when the young players perform early. I mean, Mike, he's wide receiver 11 on Keep Trade Cut.
Mm-hmm. We got to talk a little bit about him, too, on this one.
We definitely can. But I guess here's my question with Tyler Warren. With what his workload is, snap share is, I mean, while I would always say to sell now, is there a case to be made to just continue to let him get safe play and volume, and almost he's going to go up in value a little bit more? I mean, right now with what we can project with his workload, I don't see why he's going to really go down anytime soon. That's the crazy part.
I can confidently say about Tyler Warren, there's more meat left on the bone too. So if you don't want to sell right now, otherwise I'd be screaming from the mountaintops, sell Tyler Warren. But I do understand there's going to be a case where you're going to probably still have Brock Bowers 1, but he's going to be knocking on the door of passing Trey McBride because it's the new shiny toy, right? And if he continues this and McBride continues what he's doing, people are going to look at it, Trey McBride's been around forever. Something about that Arizona offense I just don't like it. I just don't like it. So look what Tyler Warren's doing as a rookie, right? Like, we're going to project he's going to be here for the rest of his entirety of his career. So there's meat left on the bone, man. He could be the very clear tight end too before you know it, right? Yeah. Within the next couple of weeks, this could happen. That's how quickly it could become. So once he reaches that point, though, Adam, I'm good. Like, we push the sell button.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let me ask you this real quick. You have Tyler Warren, if you were trying to sell at the moment, or, you were considering it just because you think he's, going to fetch you something. What do you think your net return should be, or where are you at, and how far is that disconnect? Like, what would it take draft pick wise, to pluck Tyler Warren from your dynasty teams right now? Let's call it a 1.75 tight end premium. 2 first.
2 first, he's yours.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much there with you. There's only
what's probably easier to get is an actual player, though. Like,
let's hear it out.
Talking about it, right? Like, and I'm gonna want to stick to. I mean, the easy ones for me, there's quarterbacks that I want to target, right? Because quarterbacks run Superflex leagues, like almost universally. But for a lot of people, it might be easier to go try to get a wide receiver because we have such a dearth at the position. We have a lot of good youthful guys, right? Amech Ibuka would be a good one. Brian Thomas on a buy low, Jackson Smith and Jigba. I don't think Ladd McConkey's in the range of outcomes. I think he's ranked too low on Keep Trade Cut, but he's down in that range, to be honest, Adam. So maybe there's a possibility. I think there's a few specific targets that I'd actually like to go get. Tet McMillan. How about another rookie of the class? I really like what I see out of Tet, even with Carolina's woes, struggles.
Sure.
Straight up, that would be a great target for me. Roman Odunze, your guy, for sure. I think, Jesus, man, you might be able to get Rashee Rice in a plus.
Do you think so?
By flipping. I think so, because as much as people don't want to talk about it, when a guy's not playing, we start to push him down just mentally in our ranks because it's out of sight, out of mind. And here every single week you got 84, big 84 running down the field like John Riggins.
John Riggins. I love when you call him Big John Riggins. I mean,
John Riggins. Man.
I'm not necessarily here to disagree with that. I do think Rashee, I'll just say he's one of those players, and I mean, listen, I could end up being wrong about this, where the community just seems to have this, just reverence for the guy, right? Like, so I'm not saying that you couldn't end up getting that to be the case. That one might be harder to. Now, let me ask you, Rome. Do you think just straight up you're taking that pivot, or do you think you can actually get a plus on Rome for Tyler?
If I could get a plus on it, like that's almost as good as winning that $1.4 million Powerball or $1.4 billion Powerball.
That's not what you're just saying. If I could just make these happen straight up, right? There's no plus.
Just 1-for-1 pivots. Yeah. I don't need to grease people or try to bend them over for an extra piece. But 1-for-1. I think for me, I don't know about everybody else. I don't want to speak for everybody else.
Okay.
I still want to buy into Marv. So if I could use a Tyler Warren to get into a Marv straight up, that would be pretty awesome for me too.
Sure. Let's talk about.
Pello's already ready for his apology. You ain't getting it yet, Pello. Not yet.
All right. Well, let's talk about what you want here. Let's talk Ibuka. All right. Let's go ahead and just have a quick little chat here. Where are you at with Ibuka as far as how he's looked the first 2 games? Obviously, his dynasty value, is on a rocket ship right now. Just what's your assessment, or what are you thinking? Just talk to the people where you're at right now, Ibuka.
You're not gonna like this one, buddy. I respect what you've put out there on Amech Ibuka, and when everyone was shitting on him or taking him in the second round, and you said, "Wait a minute here, what the fuck are we doing?"
Yeah.
And all the pushback I had for you, you have been very, very right on Amech Ibuka so far this season, and he has looked phenomenal. So I want to give you your credits, but I don't know if there's a bigger sell in Dynasty for me right now than Amech Ibuka.
Okay.
Why so? Pretty glaring one and a massive one. So just a couple reasons here. I'm just pulling up a few things I saved for you. Right, just a few things. Now, the one thing that I do know is quantifiable that I do have a big issue with is so far through the season, the target share just has not been that great, right? Now, it's a smaller sample size because it's only 2 games, but we're hovering at, 20% or less, right? I think total on the season is 19.3. I think he was at 20% or just over it in week 1. It was worse this past week. Now he's kind of got this injury thing, so I don't know how much that actually factored in last week as well. But there's a couple other things that I just don't really enjoy about him. And I saw somebody put a tweet out today. And like I said, I don't know how much these metrics actually matter, okay? So don't let me say that to the end-all, be-all, but they fit my narrative, so I'm running with them. They fit my narrative. Separation score, 81st out of 96 qualified wide receivers. Not great. And then route win rate of only 10.1%. So while the guy is getting touchdowns and his fantasy points look up, it's not based on any type of like real volume, and it's not really based on him actually going out there and just, beating guys and routes, like and making himself that available to the quarterback, which could really lend towards why his target share isn't as good as it you think it should be, right? Like it should be better. For his actual fantasy production, it kind of feels like a little bit of a fugazi. Like it's a little bit more inflated than what it should be. Like he should be more around, let's say like 12 fantasy points a game throughout the season right now than he is where he currently is. And that's why he's getting elevated. It's a little bit inflated. And then you have this Chris Godwin thing coming back, kind of hovering over your head. Now, I'm not saying Chris Godwin's going to return to form. It was a pretty serious injury, and we don't honestly know. And we don't know with Godwin back, maybe it opens up more things for Amech Ibuka. It could actually be a boom for him. But that is a question that remains to be answered. How's Amech Ibuka fit in when Chris Godwin's back and fully healthy, along with Mike Evans?
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I'd say, definitely there's going to be things you could probably nitpick in, his first 2 games as a pro. I think just what right now out of the gates, what I've seen from him, and the target share he's getting. I mean, he's got the same amount of targets right now as Michael Pittman, as Tyreek Hill, as a lot of really good bona fide studs. Mike Evans has 19, he has 13. Evans got 11 last game. But if you tell me right now the guy that we're not expecting to produce because of the situation has 13 targets through the first 2 games, 6 and 7. He's getting in the the range of pretty reasonable targets, and he's doing a lot with them. When I consider the fact that Evans is getting older and Godwin is coming off of an injury, and we're not really sure what that looks like. I don't think I would say this. If I can move off of Ibuka for top 12 prices, Mike, probably be willing to do so. I mean, sometimes I think
that's the key. Sorry, I didn't touch on that, right? If Amech Ibuka, we were talking about him as wide receiver 18, 17, I'd be like, fuck it. Who cares? Enjoy what you got, right? Like, I don't want to sell him. The reason it becomes a sell is because now he's sitting at wide receiver 11 for a lot of people. And it's that part's not a fugaz, because you go see the trades that are actually being made for Amech Ibuka, and you're like, fuck, this value is actually real. Like, this is where people value him at. So, sorry, I forgot to add that part in, right?
Sure.
Like, if I'm not having this conversation with you about him if he's 18, 19, 17, where Rome is at 16, for fuck's sake.
Mm-hmm. I think at that point, that's where it's kind of, to me, if I'm in a league, right, where I'll just go through the lab, let's take a look at some of these trades here and see what we can really pull up as far as, like right now, Mike, a 26th first, a third, and Jack Besh, I'm telling you guys to go piss off, frankly.
Yeah, that's not good enough. No.
Yeah, and I'm looking at a lot of Rome straight up for Ibuka. I think that's probably fair, but honestly, I'd rather probably stick with Ibuka at the moment. I think they're probably similarly though valued.
Oh wow,
where are you at?
Oh, I'll take Rome.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I would probably be willing to pivot into Rome, but the reason I say this, and I want to get back to that point you're making, is that Mike Ibuka right now, honestly, when you look at it, yeah, there's definitely some touchdown upside and all that, but Mike, if he was just to keep playing and scoring in this range where, let's call it top 20, the Tyler Warren effect, I think, is still there for Rome. For Rome too, but for Ibuka, I think Ibuka, honestly, sometimes the rocket ship, man, when we want to get off of it, see how quickly he passed Ladd McConkey? I mean, Mike, it's honestly crazy. Like, people forget. People just go crazy with an asset like this. So, Mike, if he was to have, let's say, another top 24 week for the next 2 weeks, his price is not going down. It's going up. It's just the way that people want it to be, honestly. Like, Mike, he's on. Think about this. 2 weeks in. Now, I know it's looked for Houston what we didn't really imagine was going to happen. He's really on the neck, on the fucking heels. One spot off of Nico Collins. Like, I would definitely sell if I could get prices of, hey, you're going to give me 2 first. You're going to pay me a really nice tear down. Sure. But I also think with Ibuka, I'll just caution, I think you can be choosy, because I don't think, unless he has a serious injury or something like that, his price is really going to be deflating anytime soon. People just, right now, they're just seeing a guy that they think they can project as the next big wide receiver in Tampa Bay, and he's scoring right now. So I think I'm definitely looking to sell him, but I just don't know, one, if that wide receiver 11 price actually is reflective in my league, right? Can I actually move him for this price? If I can move him for 2 first, something in that range, 100%, I'd be moving off of him. But he's just an asset that I'm not, like, afraid to keep, if that makes sense, right? I don't think I'm, like, itching to move off of him if people aren't giving me a real good trade. Like, if that Jack Besh is my best one, if I get a first, a third, and that, okay, yeah, I'll hold him happily. But if I could tear down to if I can get Rashee Rice in a plus, if I can get, like, legitimate assets and I can kind of control that, for sure, I'd be willing to move off of them. But it's just one of those things where this type of receiver, first round draft capital, good prospect profile, in an offense that continues to be humming with Baker Mayfield, I think there's a lot of reasons for him to stay in the top, 15 for sure.
Here's my next question, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just so I can highlight the touchdown. Listen, you score touchdowns in fantasy, it's a good thing, right? But we could play this if, ands, or buts if he doesn't score touchdowns. If he doesn't score touchdowns on the season, right? If you take away those 3 touchdowns, his fantasy points look like ass. They just do, because the targets aren't there, the yards aren't there.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody else around his range, like in that ballpark, though, who has a target share down in the, sub 20s, or low 20s, sub 20s, right? Like, it's tough for me when I look at that list, because I don't know for sure. I'm not telling you I went and looked at all the data, right? But you look at Drake London, he has a pretty high target share. Brian Thomas is not catching the targets he has, but he is getting fed a shit ton of targets.
Yeah.
Jackson Smith and Jigba, we know where he's at. Nico Collins maybe, but from week 1 to 2, it was night and day in usage, where he got hyper targeted the second game.
Yeah.
Lad McConkey, we know what he does, and then his fellow rookie running mate Tet McMillan, which kind of spurred this too. When I saw Ryan Heath, I respect the shit out of Ryan. He's a pretty smart guy. Fight with Scott Barrett from Fantasy Points. They're having like an internal debate or fight about how he would trade Ibuka straight up for Tet McMillan, right? And then you go look at you look at Tet's target share, and you're like, these guys aren't really in the same category, right? Like you hate to say it, but you take touchdowns away, it wouldn't have been a debate all season, right?
Yeah,
that's my only pushback, right? Like we're pushing them up into a realm of territory where we're expecting these guys to be 25 to 30% target shares, and you got a guy who's struggling right now with Chris Godwin out to get to 20% on a weekly basis.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't say, he's struggling to get to 20. He's basically right at 20, right? I mean, and also let's just keep in mind, right? I think it's the wrong mindset. I think it's the wrong mind frame, right? Think about the way in which assets move, and we can think about stuff in the past. JSN, look at what his target share was in his whole first season. Look at Rome last year, right? Like this is honestly, think about if Chris Godwin was on the field right now. That's what we're going to be getting here in a minute, right? This is a guy that I think is producing despite right now everybody telling you that he wasn't going to produce in year 1. So the fact that we're seeing him produce right now, even if it isn't on, number 1 in his offense target share, we know that's coming. We know he's talented enough, and he's proven winning games in game 1. He did have a bad drop in week 2, but CeeDee Lamb drops the ball. A lot of guys drop the ball. I'm not telling you it's a good thing for him, but 6 and 7 targets this early in his career in an offense that does have other weapons, especially Mike Evans earning 19 targets in the first 2 games. I think it's all encouraging things. And when we think about the way an asset like him, right, that has really high draft capital, has a really good prospect profile, and has showed this early, even if he doesn't necessarily keep that, really high target volume he's getting right now, his asset is going to stay the same. And then as Evans goes out, as Godwin becomes to get older, you're going to see him probably start to get into that high target share where Rome Odunze right now all of a sudden moves a guy like DJ Moore out of the way, right? This is a guy with that type of talent, in my opinion.
So that's more of the long-term projection for you, right? And I understand what you're saying, but right now he's at wide receiver 11. I just want to point back to last year with Rome Odunze. First 2 weeks, almost nothing. Week 3, I vividly remember we had a massive blow-up game, did our victory laps because it was like 23-point-some fantasy points per game.
Yep.
He also, right after that game, got propelled up on Keep Trade Cut to wide receiver 12.
Yep.
And then shortly after, you're talking within a couple weeks, down at 18, kind of hovered around that 18-17 range until this offseason when he got pushed down a little bit farther down into 20-21 range. And kind of went there. Do you see a similar path or a similar outcome? Because that is in the range of outcomes for me for Emeka Ibuka, where we're enjoying the early season success and we're like, oh shit, yeah, we push him up, but we go another 2-3 weeks, say he's at 8 to 12 fantasy points per game. This is kind of where he caps out over the next couple weeks. Not saying it's got to be as bad as Rome, but can you see that fall, especially with the possibility of other wide receivers having big blow up games and like, oh man, Rome Odunze just did it again, and all of a sudden he's passing Emeka Ibuka, and JSN continues to rise, or Tet starts to have some pretty big monster games on his resume as well. It just kind of feels like we hit a little bit of a peak. I do agree with you if he continues to put up, average 18 to 20 fantasy points per game, the sky's going to be the fucking limit for the guy. But it also feels more realistic that he's going to fall back to earth here within the next couple of weeks, and you have a short window right now to really capitalize on, hey, I'm going to get top 12 wide receiver value immediately.
Yeah, that's why I say if he's actually going for, let's say, I kind of view the right around this range a lot of times as artificial dynasty ranking bump. Like, for example, Lad McConkey.
I thought you were going to go with artificial insemination. My bad.
Well, that too. But he was artificially inseminated right up here. No, but like Lad, for example, right? All offseason, Lad felt like a little bit of an overvalued asset. You weren't really able to get 2 firsts more often than not for Lad, right? He just kind of is ranked ahead of guys that are, I think, in a similar tier. To me, he's still roughly in that 14, 15 range. And I don't think he's really going to dip much below that, even if his production comes back. But the one thing I will say think about with Rome, right? That Chicago offense did not produce a single 1,000-yard receiver with two very proven guys in Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. Mm-hmm. That offense sucked. This offense is high-powered. There's an argument to be made that maybe the volume actually takes a slight dip or stays around the same. But with Chris Godwin on the field, holy shit, buddy. I mean, it could be like one of these three or two of these three is about to go nuclear. You imagine trying to cover all these guys right now? I mean, this offense with Baker at the helm and what we've seen has way different scoring, punching power than did for sure that Chicago offense last year. And honestly, the year prior, the thing about JSN, right? JSN basically in his rookie season could not remove at all Tyler Lockett or DK Metcalf. And that offense really wasn't as high powered either. So I think there's definitely some stuff that you highlight that I think is definitely correct. And that if I could move off of him for, truly top 10 type dynasty value, fine, cash out. But I'm just kind of the mindset that if no one's paying me that crazy premium, that I'm perfectly okay with an asset like this. He's kind of done enough in his first 2 weeks to probably stay, with what we can likely project without a catastrophic fall in target share or in injury, that he's going to be a top 15, 16 receiver. So basically, if I can't get truly top 12, and you're trying to, pay me top 20 receiver prices, well, fuck you. I'm not going below that. That's where I kind of view the asset of Ibuka. And frankly, at this point, all that's money. We're way money ahead. This is a guy you got in the late first. Round. I mean, this one to me was pretty easy, but we didn't know that he was going to be able to produce like this early.
Just to play a little bit of devil's advocate, just on one of those points that you made. As of right now, and it's only 2 games, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to see wild swings. And Tampa Bay looked a lot better last week than they did in week 1.
Yeah.
But no wide receiver right now on Tampa Bay is on pace to have 1,000 yards either. Mm-hmm. Neither Mike Evans nor Amech Ibuka. Like the yardage just really hadn't been there just yet. Like it's still
if you want to play devil's advocate here, I will bet you that there's a wide receiver on the Bucs that has over 1,000 yards. I'll take.
Well, it's going to be Mike Evans for like the 37th year in a row.
Okay, well then, so what are we talking about then?
I'm just pointing out, right? I'm just pointing out. Right?
You're trying to say that, well, right now they're not on pace, but I'm saying I'll call your bluff. I'm saying this offense is going to produce a 1,000-yard receiver, and they might still be able to produce a 2,000-yard or two 1,000-yard receivers.
I mean, Baker right now through this season is not on a great pace himself, just as a whole, right? For fantasy production, it looks good, and he's taken off and he's running quite a bit more than I think we've seen in the past.
Yeah, last
and
game
the passing touchdowns have been there, but 167 versus Atlanta, 215 versus Houston's defense.
Yeah.
There's still something about this offense that just doesn't look right. Now, while Amech Ibuka is getting the touchdowns, you also got to remember this last week it was a touchdown on a screen pass, and he had 29 total yards and just a handful of targets.
To me, that's pretty exciting though too. Honestly, they're drawing up. That's the thing about it, man. I think when I'm watching the games, like they're getting this kid involved with just getting the ball in his hand. Early on in the game, last game, they're making him get the ball just boom. Like, let's get the kid the ball in his hands early and often. Just design plays that are basically for Amech Ibuka to get the ball early. Wow. Logan Sparks says, "What's up, big dogs?"
Off the rip.
Running back warp trade advice. 12-team Superflex start 14. All right. LOL. Move Mahomes for Goff and RJ Harvey. Dude also has Chase Brown, but I don't think he'll go for that. Also, down tier craft ideas. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely – listen, I have plenty of Tucker Kraft. I mean, you and I have been pretty high on Tucker Kraft for a while. I saw someone in the chat saying, like, I think he's legit, but time will tell. I don't think Mike and I disagree that he's legit, but I'm not putting him as a set it and forget it top 5 tight end. That's different than some of the other guys that are being valued.
You want to talk about usage issues the entirety of the Green Bay passing offense.
For sure.
Like I just don't know until they solidify who the fuck they're going to throw the ball to. Right? We saw Jaden Reed with moments last year. We've already seen Jaden Reed with moments this year. Now he's gone again. And then you see Tucker Kraft have a big game. It's always here today, gone tomorrow for these guys. It's hard to project week to week. I don't know what the routes run are going to be. I don't know what the target share is going to be. they still haven't figured out a way to integrate their first-round rookie, Matthew Golden, really into this offense. Christian Watson, by all accounts, at some point this season will make an appearance and a return. So
we'll see.
We'll see.
I think he should, but he's always injured, it feels like, man. It kind of sucks for him. But, Mike, when I'm looking at this trade here, Goff showed out last week. Listen, I think, to me, I was excited to watch that game because I thought both parties had a lot to prove. You know, it's a game where you want to come out on top, and they absolutely handed it to fucking that Chicago team. Like, I'm still not saying that Goff is I think he is respectable, but he's below Mahomes. And is RJ Harvey enough? Now, it is start 14, so I don't want to, dismiss an extra skill player. But RJ Harvey right now actually on the thumbnail as well. We can talk about him briefly on, like, the snap share has lined up with a lot more what you were talking about as far as the J.K. Dobbins getting not just a lot of the touches, but he's dominating the time on the field right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is RJ Harvey enough to get this trade to go down to Goff from Mahomes?
There's better days ahead for RJ Harvey. I need to see more of that shift, right? I need to see more of that shift before I think that is the piece to go all the way from Mahomes to Goff. And this is coming from I just talked with Eric on America's Game coming out tomorrow about how the luster of Mahomes is quickly fading. It's quickly going by the wayside because there's something fundamentally wrong with this Chiefs offense for the longest time. And pretty soon people are gonna start questioning the actual name of Patrick Mahomes. Right? That's not gonna be the allure anymore because you're gonna look at production. While granted, through the first two games, I think kind of depending on your league scoring settings, he's somewhere 18 to 22 points per game.
Right.
You're liking it, but it's all rushing production, right? That's what it is. The passing offense just still does not look good. Like, it still does not look fundamentally good. He gets a chance to correct it. He goes from having to play two tough teams to start the season to now getting the Giants, who just got roasted by the Cowboys. So, I mean, you could have a pretty big change, and if you get Xavier Worthy back and Rashee Rice later, maybe things do turn it around. I still think, with all that said, like talking down about Mahomes and being concerned about him, as good as Jared Goff looked last week, I don't know if I want to go chasing that. And I don't think RJ Harvey's that solidified piece for me to go, this is a great tear down for me.
Yeah, I mean, well, so here's, I guess, Mahomes definitely has this weird, I would say his market in, like, if you look at a startup where he goes, right? And if you look at, like, what people will tell you on a lot of different sources that you could use and cite for what his value is, it's all inflated. I don't care really what you're looking at outside of actual completed trades. They're all going to tell you and kind of give you a story that says Mahomes is more valuable than he actually is as far as dynasty value goes. And the problem is, the reason that's seemingly coming down is because the production just isn't giving us more than, frankly, that much more than replacement. Now, I'm not telling you he's not above replacement. My point is that it's not that much. It's really not anywhere near what his dynasty value says. That being said, Mike, right now, Patrick Mahomes gets hurt, Jared Goff gets hurt. Riddle me that. What can you sell Patrick Mahomes for, and what can you sell Jared Goff for? There is a seismic, a absolute fuck ton of value bled on the Jared Goff side.
You'll probably confidently get a first for Patrick Mahomes, and probably a first and a second for Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to struggle to get a late second for Jared Goff.
Right. People will be the funny part would be, I mean, let me knock on wood, I'm not wanting injury for any of these players, but I think people will be coming trying to buy low on Mahomes, not even really knowing what the hell that would mean, but you would see people going sniffing around. So here's what I would say. RJ Harvey right now, the biggest thing for me with the snap share, like, I don't think Dobbins is going away without an injury. Now, I do think that RJ Harvey will start to ramp up his snaps, but right now, the other problem is Sean Payton in this Tyler Beatty's not all that far from what RJ Harvey is snap share wise.
Snap share, yes.
It's actually really gross. It's really, really gross. So I think the problem is that this RJ Harvey value might actually, until some kind of an injury happens to Dobbins, let's even say it's not serious, but he just misses, the second half of a game, and then all of a sudden RJ Harvey has a big, touch count. I don't know that his value is going to really pop, so to speak, without something like that happening. And I don't know. I have a hard time right now telling you that this is definitely the player that makes you want to go down to Jared Goff. It's probably about correct as far as values go. I just think if I'm doing this, if I'm going down to Goff, I'd prefer to find – I'm trying to think. Honestly, let's go ahead and just take a look at some players in the range of an RJ Harvey right now. I would almost guarantee I'd prefer the majority of them. Let's see. So that would be my problem. I had no running backs in the field here. So RJ Harvey. Mike, would you rather have George Pickens and Jared Goff here or RJ Harvey?
I still don't know if I'd do that tear down, but I prefer Pickens.
So would I. Honestly, Mike, start 14. I think I would do that for Pickens. Like he's
You think so?
Yes, dude, start 14 is crazy. Bro, think about most of our leagues, even in best ball. Now, granted, it's best ball versus lineup, but we don't typically go much past like start 13. Start 14 is pretty extreme. Like that's a crazy amount of starters. So I think
that the biggest problem I have is the golf part, right? Like you swap that out for Dak Prescott and this whole trade becomes much different. A much different conversation.
Okay, now tell me and everyone why. Why would that be the case for you?
Because Dak Prescott actually has realistic productivity.
He is saying heavy RB warp. I forgot.
I know. There's heavy RB warp.
Give me the league. Give me the league, Logan.
But when you say heavy RB warp, too, the real problem with heavy RB warp is that lends itself to guys who are getting a shit ton of touches, right?
Well, I was going to say
a lot of snaps.
It really is. See, the cheat code there is like, what about Javonte Williams? What about a player? Instead of going for a guy that has this long-term play, let me just lean into, honestly, like Jordan Mason. If it's RB heavy warp, it's probably someone that's getting a bunch of touches. Fuck it. Like Jordan Mason. Can I go? I'm not saying to put Jordan Mason in instead of this, but can I get Jordan Mason on my team? Can I get players like that are going to have scoring impact? Dude, start 14, Mike. Jordan Mason's making my lineup, unless I have an absolute goon squad, probably. It's
right.
Heavy RB work.
But the difference between Dak and Jared Goff is Dak really has like everything in the cards for him to finish top 6, top 7, top 8, and be a real solidified, bona fide QB1, just the way the function of this offense is going to be. Like it has to be, right? There's no choice. There's no defense. We're going to play in a lot of, holy shit, we're playing in defensive struggles, 13-7 type games. It feels like every game that Dallas is going to have to win, it's because they're going to put up 38 or 40 points. Right? This is what we have to do to win. Jared Goff still has a pretty decent defense around him. You also saw in week 1 the struggles that they did have. Now, week 2 corrected a lot of people's struggles in their mind because they fucking absolutely took it to the Bears.
Sure.
They absolutely destroyed them. But how often are you going to be able to rely on that? Like, how many times is he going to be able to do it? Can he have a season where he's like QB 14, QB 13? Yeah, sure. We've seen Goff do it before. But Dak Prescott has that like league-winning type upside that they're going to be valued in the same fucking range or pretty damn close. Give me Dak Prescott all day in that scenario.
Yeah, I would lean Dak as well, but I think I do think that Dak has a more likely path, and the way that they have to play is going to be lending him to have the better chance to get there. But I do think, like, seeing that game last, it may not be as predictable, but I think Jared Goff could probably end up like he did last year. He could still finish as a top 10, top 12 quarterback. There's definitely more things that have to kind of work in his favor for him to be that. But I guess all that to say, I'd prefer Dak. But if you told me that the player that I'm getting here is going to be one way better, I would prefer to have Goff, let's say, in that better player that's higher valued in the start 14. Mm-hmm. But I would prefer, all things equal, Dak Prescott as well. I was going to say, I'm looking at the warp. It is definitely super heavy to the running back position. But I would just say this. I'm looking actually in the lab real quick. When I look at who has Jared Goff. Let's see if I can find. I'm looking at I'm trying to find his team, Mike, and see what kind of, other options we have. Okay. So right now it's Jared Goff, Travis Etienne, RJ Harvey, David Montgomery, Jalen Warren, Bhayshul Tuten. That's pretty much it as far as running backs go.
Pretty shitty team then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's it's 3-1. He's got a lot of heavy work, but he's got Trey McBride. He's got really good receivers, JSN. But as far as I don't know. None of these running backs to me make it worth it going down to Goff.
I don't think this is a good dance partner.
No, I mean, I would probably be more interested in seeing if I could get go down lower. Can I get Montgomery and Toutin, or Montgomery and Jaylen Warren, or can I throw in another pick to get both of those running backs back? Start 14 is kind of crazy, but anyway, I would say no to this at the moment. I think that's where Mike's at as well.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, I'm passing. He also asked, got any down tier ideas for Kraft?
Oh yeah, let's go ahead, dude. Mike, that one. We should have started with the easy question. This one is, I mean, you're telling me there's only 3 tight ends ahead of him? I mean, we got all of them.
You literally got all of them. A lot of options.
What would you? Where would you try to start first if you're trying to net the most value?
For the next couple of weeks, I just plug in whatever turd I can, but I would start to go to George Kittle. Give me George Kittle and something.
That one seems too easy. Let me ask you right now with where this Mark Andrews thing is. Is anyone? I shouldn't say that. Are you and I happen to have a likely talk, or are we just not really there yet?
Look at this. Look at this. Well. Mm-hmm. It's like burning ears.
Mm-hmm.
I brought this up when Eric and I quickly touched on the tight end position because it's so fucking disgusting. It just makes me want to vomit. And I said, well, boys, here we are. Mark Andrews has looked this fucking bad. This is going to be the first time in history I'm telling you to go out and maybe sniff around and see what I say likely cost.
Mm-hmm. The problem is it's probably going up, but I would
still falling over the last 30 days.
Yeah, in the tier down, Mike, I think I would be willing to go down to likely, honestly, at this point.
Can you get Isaiah Likely in a first? And if you could do that, oh my, just do backflips.
I think when a guy's not playing, you might be able to.
I think you might be able to too.
What about Likely in a second?
Give me a third in there too, so I can buy some spot start later on.
There you go.
Juice me up, buddy. And toss a few bucks of fab in too, just in case.
Now, what about Mr. Dalton Kincaid?
That's not a bad one. You might be able to get a second, and maybe squeeze out another second.
Yeah, I mean, let me ask you this then. So let's talk about a couple other options. David Njoku, are you cooling? Are you?
Not really cooling. It was better than week one. Fannon's still a big part of this, but
I don't think Fannon's going away. I kind of am worried that they're gonna cannibalize each other in a way, meaning there's not going to be those weeks where David Njoku goes for 9 targets and 2 touchdowns on a consistent basis, right? Because that was something that we could have happen, and I think if it was just Fannin or just Njoku, shit, man, I think we'd be loving to fire either one of them up. But I think there's a chance right now that they kind of both have 6-7 targets, and that just limits overall upside.
I love how we come full circle on these tight ends. They get pushed up a little bit too high. Then I'm like, I want to get the fuck out. I want to sell them all. And then they always regress back to the mean, and all of a sudden they become buy candidates again, because I'll give you another one that I'd be interested in a down tier. Jakey Ferguson, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, listen, there's honestly a lot here, I think. Mike, I'm looking at you brought up Jake Ferguson. Is at 12. Mike, I mean, honestly, I'll tell you this. Tier down candidates, shit, man. If you're telling me I'm getting a true first and maybe even a little bit more, a first and a dart throw player, dude, I'd be willing to go down into these 20s, honestly, for some of these players, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, there's players that have heavy snap share and probably better days ahead. I'm not telling you they're going to have maybe Tucker Kraft's upside, but I don't need that when I'm getting firsts and something. Honestly, I'd be willing to go down to Chig right now. I think Chig is
there you go.
Somebody that's, deep enough in the rankings, hasn't done shit, but is on the field a ton, probably going to have a team that's throwing the ball a lot.
You had that league up. How was the tight end warp?
Good question. Let's pull it back up here, buddy. Damn it, I close it. But I'll
imagine most leagues that we've seen over the years.
Yeah, it's not. If I remember right, it wasn't anything better than your average one. But let's run it real quick again. It shouldn't take too long, just to make sure. I see Bryson has a question as well, but give it a
Snap
moment.
share real good for Tucker Kraft. Target share not that great.
Yeah, I mean, so Mike, it's multi-year. It's like hovering with the rookie line. It's pretty down there. Now the top 6 tight ends in multi-year got 2.7, but it's basically you have a top 3, 4 one, or you don't have anything. That's that.
Right.
Great.
Yep, pretty similar. Yep.
And if you look at single year data, dude, it's rough this year. I mean, that line is way the fuck down there.
So yeah, I'm kind of with you, man. You can get real crusty on it, especially if we're talking about throwing a liquid first in there somewhere, and the possibility, depending on how gross you want to get, or what they think about him. Oh my God, I'm getting Tucker Kraft. Yeah, I'll give you a second, or I'll give you a toss-in player. Somebody along those lines. Mm-hmm. I'd go more of that A-Warp tight end life, right? Get me into that. I'm just gonna start whoever the fuck I got on my team. Who cares?
I was just about to say,
give me the liquidity. There
you go. I think the better way to actually net the most value is I don't even want to tear down. You just take Tucker Kraft. Take your king.
You honestly think about getting a liquid first in that league in an RB heavy warp, and what the possibilities then open up for you on what you can acquire that will actually change the fortunes of how this season goes.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I'm with you, man.
Because even in a 14 team like that with RB heavy warp, I mean, how much more than a first does James Cook really cost you? To be completely honest.
Yeah,
we're a second away. We're
sure.
second and something else away. I mean, we're not too far off.
Yeah, I mean, and Mike, that first. See, the other thing too. Think about this, right? The reason I'm definitely doing that, Mike, in this type of a league, right? You know what's going to happen probably? The teams that are not necessarily locked into contending at the later part of the year, they probably have some running backs that you would be very interested in. So when they're out of the mix and you have a first, Mike, I think you're going to have so much more clarity on all these situations. Right now, Aaron Jones is on IR, right? Imagine, Mike, if Jonathan Taylor is on IR. Like, DJ Giddens all of a sudden. What does that look like now? Like, you'll have the draft capital and liquidity at the correct time, because one of the biggest things about a league like this is, Mike, honestly, just the timing. Knowing who the starter is likely to be for the next 4, 5, 6 weeks in a sprint. What's that going to cost me? Do I even need to use the first? And if I do, I basically have so much more ammo to go get exactly what I'm looking for. So the way I kind of view it is, give me the liquidity. Tucker Kraft is, listen, great start, and that's exactly all you needed. Gave you a great start. He might have given you a win last week. Get yourself that pick and move on. Move on with your life.
Tear down to the real king, Jawan Johnson, and that mustache.
I love what we're hearing. Mike, let's go ahead and what do you think? Ready to go ahead and hit the fizz and
hit the fizz? Let's do the giveaway. Let's get questions, and we'll bounce the hell out of here.
I love how simple that can be. Let's just go ahead and do it. Give me one moment to get the fizz up, and we'll do that. All right.
Get the fizz up.
Fizz it up.
Wake him up.
Welcome to South Harmon. Welcome to South Harmon. Hey, welcome to South Harmon. We glad you here today. Another AMA. Ask me anything. Super chat is cool if you wanna pay to play. Like and subscribe, that's what we really appreciate. Let me introduce you to the tear down king. Mike McNutted, ask your questions, he'll answer anything. ATM, you know Adam, put them graphics on the screen. Glad you tapped in now, stay tapped in for the team. Hey, everything is posted. Go follow the socials. South Harmon, FF tag us if we get noticed. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Another AMA, welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today.
Feels good, buddy. I always love hitting that in the middle of the show.
It is. It's Fizzle says, we're glad you're here today. We are glad you're here today. Bryson, your questions are right here in front of me, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let him kick these two off. I got a bunch of starts to get in the queue. What could I get for Goff or Purdy in a 12-team, 2-quarterback dynasty league? Now, interestingly enough, we just did 4D earlier today and talked about if you had excess, and we did a little quarterback horde discussion. Are you talking right now like liquidity? Are you talking, pivoting into skill players, all of the above? And, Mike, where are you at with this question overarching?
I think Goff would be a good one to sell high. Purdy's taking a little bit of hit, right?
Yeah.
Because you got assholes like me out there going, well, Mac Jones did it, so maybe Purdy's just a system quarterback. I get it. All right. But still, like, I think there's a lot of leagues where I'm really hyping up Dak Prescott. For a Cowboy, that's something. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm all aboard this Dak Prescott train. If you let me go from a Purdy to a Dak Prescott, you've done me a massive favor. Like, I couldn't thank you enough, right? Or conversely, I'll add to a Jared Goff to go get a Dak on a contending team. Now, a lot of these guys too, Eric and I talked about it a little bit. Like, is there still a world where you can trade Purdy down into Jackson Dart, right? If you're not competing?
It's starting to become I will say, Mike, one of the more interesting things to me is the Jackson Dart price on Keep Trade Cut, just because it typically is one of those where that type of a player, it almost trickles down and then comes back up like immediately in a big way when he's getting ready to play. Because Jackson Dart, when I last looked, was like quarterback 20, like up some spots. So all that to say, I guess, probably depends on your league. I feel like right now, if you're a Jackson Dart owner, like just theorize this with me, and you're watching the Giants lose again, and you're probably thinking, damn, like Russ did look good there, but we know the Giants defense sucks, or the Cowboys defense sucks. You're probably thinking, how long until Dart gets in there? And then at that point, do I still want this trade? So I think people that have Dart shares are probably getting a little bit too comfortable, in my personal opinion, meaning like, yeah, we all know he's going to start, but doesn't that mean you still could move the asset right now if you're able to get into something that's more secure? So I think you probably could. I just don't know what the plus would be, though. Like what would the plus look like?
What would you really need, to be honest? Like, so if you told me I could go from Purdy to Jackson Dart and get a second, I think that would be nice.
Would you do that?
I think I would do that if I'm not competing. If I'm not competing.
Oh, I see. You're saying you're rebuilding, or
middle of the road. Right, like middle of the road at all. Like, I would do something like that.
Because if you have any hopes and dreams of competing, the only thing about it is this, right? I still like the second. Like, don't get me wrong, I still probably would do that if I'm truly rebuilding, let's say. But I think Brock Purdy, and I talked about this, he's probably a little more secure than we necessarily realize, just because I know the Mac Jones thing, Mike, but what they paid him, he's basically guaranteed to be the starter for a while. So that's why I say, like, something like that, to me, I'd almost rather liquidate Purdy and get, can I get, you're not going to get 2 firsts, but can I get a first and a different type of player than Jackson Dart, where I'm looking to a little bit more flippability again, like a first and a player that I can now flip for a first versus Dart and a second round pick, if that makes sense.
Would you do like a first, a second, and Jalen Milroe for your Brock Purdy?
Yeah, definitely. That's kind of what I mean. I'd rather go a little further down the quarterback rankings, honestly, and get more liquidity back. So, yeah.
That's not a bad call. Yeah.
But I think regardless, you can still get a first and a second roughly for Purdy is kind of the generic price.
Yeah. Are you getting that for Goff?
Maybe after this week. But I think he's more of a first, personally. Gotcha. A single first. If you can get if I can get a single first if I'm rebuilding for Goff, I think I'm probably just doing that, to be honest with you. Now, if someone's going to give me a second, or I'm just saying I'm not trying to break someone over their head, thinking I'm going to get a lot for Goff when maybe that offer doesn't actually come.
Let me ask you, middle of the road team, or maybe even contending, Jared Goff as your QB2 or QB3, whatever it might be. Right? Mm-hmm. Somebody offered you Jake Browning and a first for your Jared Goff.
So I would say that one's a little interesting, just because people don't like to have this uncertainty of next year. I'd probably do it, frankly. I'd probably do it. Get me through the season. Get me the first, and I'll figure out what I need to do at quarterback. I have a whole year until next year. Yeah, I think I would.
Mm-hmm. go for the championship or go for the contending. You know, there's going to be a points difference probably from Jake Browning, but I think anybody would be crazy to say that we know exactly what that point difference is going to be.
Right. Yeah. I
mean,
no
defense with the Bengals, great weapons, going to have to throw the ball a shit ton, right? Like, it's just going to happen. I mean, it could go horribly wrong, but Jake Browning could put up, 80% of what Jared Goff's given you, and you walked away with a first for use in season somewhere else. Maybe it's a running back, or maybe it was a QE3 situation, and now you're going to use that first plus whoever the hell your QE2 is to upgrade that position and get you into something that'll be a true warp difference maker. So,
shout out the intro, shout out Fizzle for my first best ball league. Wow, that cash was hella delayed.
Bang, bang.
But it came through. Appreciate the super chat, Jake. And, yeah, let's get you in some best ball, man. I'd love to hear the best ball.
He's at South Harmon Vibes, man. He's in that league.
Yeah,
sending me bad trade offers all the time.
Welcome to the party, Jake. Every offer Mike gets is a bad one, but you'll get there one day.
Hey, man, Eric sent me a trade offer. Oh, that reminds me, I got to send it to you for tomorrow's trade show recording, right? Me and E got a deal done. I didn't haggle with him. Yeah, he sent it to me, and I said, well, good enough.
I think I saw that one.
Yes.
I can tell why one side didn't haggle, but that's
don't do Eric like that. Or is that a shot against? I don't know. I'm confused.
I don't kiss and tell. Would you rather package him to get up to a top tier guy? I think, well, that's a question. I don't know.
What's the cost?
Well, this was prior to the super chat, so I feel like I need to. Will, if you're still with us, let me know who you're talking about specifically. Would y'all tear down from BTJ now, or wait and ride it out? Ride him out's a little bit of a pause to me, but
just a little bit, Listen, the usage numbers are great. Now the actual productivity in his quarterback play is not great. It's been pretty piss poor.
Did you see some of these business decisions from BTJ?
There's a few. You keep getting 47 hospital balls a game. I think I'd start making some business decisions too.
Yeah, I will say though, buddy, some of those were like, damn, wasn't what I expected to see on the old review of tape. But anyway,
I am tearing down off of Brian Thomas Jr. right now immediately. Right, let me put the cart before the horse.
I've been on that train, so I'm with you. I think though, here's the thing now, right? To me, one of the things about selling, typically to sell at peak prices or near that, you're gonna probably be looking at playing the guys playing coming off the back of a really great game. Like right now, feels like maybe you can tear down from BTJ, but you're probably not getting off-season prices.
No.
Right.
No, those are gone.
And that's where I say at this point, Mike, we got to have a talk about your market and what am I actually getting here? Because I don't necessarily have to get, off-season prices where he was fucking wide receiver 5 or 6, but like if he's kind of clustered into the Garrett Wilson mix, like if he's kind of clustered into that, I'm getting the same price as I'm getting for Tet, for Marv, for these guys, all of a sudden, I don't know that I'm just pivoting out if that's how far we've come. So I guess that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like, yes, I would like to, in theory, if I'm getting what Amon-Ra or Puka's worth or London, yeah. But if he's Lad McConkey or whatever, I don't know that it's necessarily as pertinent to me, if that makes sense to do it right now.
For a while, I've been kind of saying how, listen, I thought he was a little bit too overinflated, right? And I brought up a lot of the points with Travis Hunter being there and how I thought Travis Hunter might, realistically outproduce him as soon as his rookie year. Now, that's not really turning out to be – they both suck.
This part. Listen, the usage is definitely elite still if you look at the numbers, right? But this part is kind of crazy, to be honest. Like his splits with T-Law are just –
Yep. You need Mac Jones back in a bad way.
Let's get Mac Jones back to Jacksonville after he looks good for another game here in Frisco.
But instead of being up here, even sniffing the Amon-Ra's and Drake Londons and Jackson Smith and Jigbas and Nico Collins of the world, like I've felt for a while like 14 to 18 was more of his proper range. And while there's still an opportunity to get out above that market price, I think I want to take it, because if you tell me I can get into Amech, Ibuka, or Lad McConkey, or Garrett Wilson, or Rome Odunze and get a second as my plus, like, sure, why not? Like, I think that's the tier he should be in anyways. And if you're going to let me trade within what my tiers are and get pluses on top, that's an easy fucking win for me. Now, I think if you want to drop down on what tiers should be, he's not going to be there very long if he keeps this shit up, but Zay Flowers would be a great one to go after right now. Like, some people still have the...
All right.
We've seen Zay have games before when waiting for him to fall back to earth. I think this shit's for real. Zay looks like a different cat out there this year.
I love when this happens. 0 trades from BTJ to Zay right now that I can see.
None.
So.
All right,
let's try it one more time.
Let's make the first one right now.
Now the lab's thinking again. Oh, no. Here we go. We got some. All right. So the one thing that I wish you could do is kind of separate. Okay, here you go. Zay Flowers and Travis Etienne for BTJ and AO Minor, though.
Man, AO Minor's kind of on the up and coming, too.
Yeah, but...
I think that's Travis Etienne and Zay Flowers, though, by a pretty decent chunk.
So here's what I guess I'm saying, right? This is a good example, probably, where that probably does... It's not a bad trade. I think that probably getting ETN for AO Minor there makes sense. But at the same time, is that enough? Is that win? While it is a win, enough for me to move off of BTJ. Let's look at some other ones here. Like, here you go. Zay Flowers and Christian Watson are BTJ, Mike. I'll just stay with BTJ.
Zay Flowers and Christian. Yeah, probably. Christian Watson just really doesn't do it for me, right? No. I'm looking at getting something better than Christian Watson, for sure.
With you. As I'm looking here. So, here you go. What about Zay Flowers, Bhayshul Tuten in a third? See, this is, I think, the problem with it. To me, these are reflective of him already being at the point where you're saying that you have him at. To me, this is where I'm telling you, Mike, as hard as it is to try to think about, like, if he was coming off the back of 2 great games, sell to the fucking moon, because people will pay out the nose. People rarely pay in the moments of, any type of concern at all, the full boat price. Okay, now here, I would do this in a heartbeat. Zay Flowers and Rashee Rice for BTJ in a second.
Yeah, easy. I found another one with Zay Flowers in it too. Brian Thomas and David Montgomery for Zay Flowers, Zach Ertz, a first, a second, and a third.
Oh, geez. I mean,
right?
You had me at the first. The second and third, just keep them coming my way. Here's one I would do as well. Josh Jacobs and Zay Flowers for BTJ. So I guess all that to say, like, if the piece I'm getting on the other end is really good, like it's a, bordering between a first and a second type asset, I'd probably be willing to go ahead and make that pivot. But I think right now, depending on your league, it might be more. He might have more of an artificial bullshit value than anything. Odunze to the moon. Here you go. Speak to him.
Brian Thomas for Ashton Genty, straight up.
I think I would take Genty, but not necessarily. They're both kind of making me. They're both kind of making me feel a little heebie-jeebies,
Yeah.
Is DK ass yet? Asking for a friend.
Is he ass yet? I don't know if he's ass yet. It's fucking ass. Probably. I don't know.
Honestly, I'd say I think he's become just.
Whatever.
Especially with this offense, he's become mid. Yeah, he's just become kind of mid.
He's got better target share than Amech Ibuka so far. I mean, that ain't saying much because his competition isn't Mike Evans. It's
his target.
Austin.
His target share, like the last 2 years, while he didn't do shit in production, was not bad. It was fine, right? So it's like Superflex 14 team. Mac Jones was sold for a 27 first and fourth to the Purdy owner. I mean,
damn. Talk about genius move right there. Mac Pack is shit.
I'll tell you, there every now and again you find people that like Mac Jones more than Shanahan. Like this guy right here. Wow.
It's possible. I think it existed.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah, first for Mac is robbery. I mean, it's I think a second for Mac is like, wow, damn, you did pretty well, you know.
Did you see our boy T-Rock in the Discord?
2 seconds for Browning.
Yeah, 6 seconds. So what?
The whole purpose of getting the Browning, right, and having them is so that if and when there's an injury to Burrow, you now have it to get some profit. You price it there, it's like, well, now you're going to end up just having that production and having poof, the whole thing's going to just evaporate, you know?
I love T-Rock to death, man, but he's dead serious when he says that shit, right? And it's not a fugaz because we play in a lot of leagues with him. You see his auto accept trade blocks.
That felt very much like the auto accept trade block he knows he needs to take down later. He's just trying to see if he can get you right away. 12 team.
2 seconds for Jake Browning. Jesus Christ, T-Rock.
I mean, you give me a second and anything extra, I'll just take that one.
I guess if he was talking like an 18-team Superflex league, I need 2 seconds.
If you're telling me it's a 16-team Superflex, okay, fine, maybe. But honestly, the other problem is you have to find someone that has that liquidity that's going to sell it too. So, 2 quarterback 12 team, Mike. We got a full PPR start 10 rebuild.
Asterisk.
What price tag are you looking to move off of Josh Allen? Also, Justin Jefferson, same format. Dan, you have both these guys and have to rebuild. That's a shallow rest of your squad, I'd imagine. I would say, Mike, Josh Allen is I think personally, if I'm moving off of Josh Allen, I want to try to do it in a systematic tear down, personally, because I think more often than not, people they're not just sitting on fucking 4 or 5 firsts. Like, more often
usually
than not. So, 1. And 2, honestly, even then, like, okay, yeah, I'd probably be willing to do it just because of the leveraging factor. But I think it's a lot of times easier to get the value out here if you go from, let's say, you know, just kind of tear down multiple times. Can I get 2 firsts and a player in the 15s? And then now liquidate him, and now all of a sudden, because the other thing I'm looking to do probably is might get a handful of. I want to try to pick over some picks that are not necessarily like the one team that I shipped Josh Allen to. Even if I took all of his future, I might be penciling in 3 late firsts here, right? I want to try to get myself into some multiple different types of firsts.
Let me give you an example. Like the first one, the easiest one for me was like, could I get Justin Herbert and a first? And if you wanted to add a second or whatever, you thought it wasn't enough, that's fine. But I'll just start Justin Herbert and a first. You keep it simple.
Yep.
Can I get Herbert and a first for my Josh Allen?
Yep.
And you get that done. And then the next thing you do is you take Justin Herbert, like Adam's talking about, and you systematically keep going down the list, okay? You guys really like Justin Herbert. Can I get Jordan Love in a first, right? Now you've gotten Jordan Love in 2 firsts for your Josh Allen. And then you take Jordan Love and you go, okay, I'm still rebuilding. Like, can I go to Cam Ward now and a first for my Jordan Love, right? So then at the end of the day, you get to the exact point that you wanted to be in the first place, right? Because I would have told you if you said, what would I get off of Josh Allen for in a rebuild? Give me Cam Ward and 3 firsts and we'll just call it a day, right? Like, that'd be a great package.
Sure.
But to Adam's point, not a lot of people are sitting on 3 liquid firsts right now that they're willing to also attach a Cam Ward to, or a Jackson Dart if you wanted to get that crazy, or a Michael Penix, or whatever the hell you wanted to get into, a JJ McCarthy if you wanted to buy low.
Yep.
It's a tough one. So sometimes you got to do this in tiers, in steps, and just keep moving your way up.
And I think I'll say, Bricky, especially this time of year, right? Now, I'm very much of the mindset that I want to just go ahead and get a lot of firsts at the moment. However, I think a lot of times you'll find in Mike, I think across many, many leagues, people right now get this player-centric focus. So the reason that's important is a lot of times in tear downs, maybe I can get another player in the mix here. I'm almost wanting to know my market if it's like a very player-centric focused league. Constantly kind of have another player so that I can continue to, milk this thing, essentially, right? Kind of, if I get 4 first even right away, it's like, boom, done. Now I'm sitting on those picks for a while. You could find a way to get players that have spike week opportunity to where you can continue to do this over and over and over again. So when you have a guy like Josh Allen, the 101, right, 102, 103, you can ask for fucking the entire thing. So these type of assets, Justin Jefferson, same kind of principle, is I'm being choosy with the type of offer I get first so that I can continue to make this, snowball essentially happen, right?
This is the kind of move that even on a rebuild, like, I don't want Bhayshul Tuten to be the centerpiece of this deal. Okay?
Exactly.
The draft picks and maybe possibly a quarterback need to be the centerpiece. But if I can work a way in where instead of maybe that second, that's already projected late, if I could get a piece like a Bhayshul Tuten, instead thrown in, like, let me get him. And then if he does something here within the next couple of weeks and continues his rise, then what can I sell him for? And that's how you can really kickstart rebuilds. To Adam's point, it's easier and you don't have to worry about any downside or making any future moves if you just say, give me 4 firsts and 2 seconds for Josh Allen and he's yours and you can get that done. That's fine. Yep. But you're just then going to sit on your hands for the rest of the season and be like, I'm not touching these picks till come draft time, until they rise in value.
For sure.
But if you can work in some of those dart throw-ish pieces, like ones that have realistic upside where they can get talked about, where we're like, hey, man, You see, RJ Harvey finally played 45% of the snaps and, had 60 yards and Tyler Beatty's hurt. So we're done with that. Like that kind of thing. You can work those kind of guys into those deals.
Yep.
It's pretty nice then when you can capitalize then on that player too.
It's real nice. Now, this is an interesting question Eric has, right? And I think let's talk about it real quick. 12-team Superflex, PPR, start 10, half point side and premium, 0.2 points per carry. Can I even sell Bryce Young right now? He's my third quarterback. I have Kyler and Goff, other skill positions, other quarterback down tier plus capital. Here's what I'll say, Eric. I one of the things that I'm finding, it's, I guess, rinse, repeat, relive it. Everybody, when you have 3 quarterbacks, right? I think everybody in the perfect world would love to say, hey, I have Bryce Young. I'm scared as hell of what he's showing me right now. Let me sell you that guy. The problem with that, in theory, Mike, is, all right, well, who are your buyers? And that's why he's asking, can I even do it? To me, if you're really wanting to try to me, the best way to actually build out a better team and likely end up winning this situation is to almost stomach, have a stronger stomach than the rest. You know what? Let me just make sure Bryce Young's actually in my lineup if I have to. Maybe I could sell Jared Goff while he's coming off of a big game, right? He's probably a little more appealing at the moment. Someone's going to be willing to buy. I don't have to try to sell Bryce Young at 80 cents on the dollar, 70 cents on the dollar. Even though that might be a win, maybe I'm better off having Bryce Young as my 2 if I'm trying to actually move off of a quarterback at the moment. Maybe I can sell Goff after a 5-touchdown week, and I'll have a much better time selling Jared Goff. So to answer the question, can you? I mean, maybe, but you're going to have to find a fucking Panther fan and, Jake, help us. I don't know. I think there's plenty of reason to be worried, and I don't know that you're going to be able to sell for anything that's reasonable right now.
So I do want to I just want to point this out, right? Because week 1 was so god-awful for Bryce Young, and all the bad shit that when he got benched last year for Andy Dalton, all that shit came right back.
Yeah.
Right? Not the way he finished the season, but we're like, oh, shit, this is not good.
Mm-hmm.
Last week was for fantasy purposes, right? Now, NFL QBR has got him as a just below average quarterback on the week because he made a horrible fucking mistake. Right? A horrible mistake.
Sure.
That ended up losing him the game. But for fantasy purposes, Bryce Young was QB 8 on the week. Like QB 8 on the week, and his advanced metrics so far on the season give you a little bit of a listen. It's scary, okay? Don't get me wrong. It's not a perfect scenario. And
Eric, you might be able to sell to Mike.
You might be able to. I'm just trying to make the case a little bit that we don't need to fully panic on Bryce Young, right? As he gets Ted integrated into this offense, and 2, he got his left tackle back last week, and I don't think it's a coincidence that getting your left tackle back means a hell of a lot to you as a fucking quarterback when you're getting put on your ass all the time. Now, he still got put on his ass a few times, but it wasn't as bad as week 1. But so far in the league, just based on player profilers charting, number 4 in the league in money throws. Now, the thing you don't like is he's got that Jameis component to him. Number 5 in the league in danger plays. That's not good. And top 12 in interceptable passes. But you're looking at it, his air yards 4th in the league, so he's throwing the ball down the field. The pace of play for the team, because the Panthers aren't a very good team as a whole, is very high, and they're playing up tempo. So there's a lot of opportunity for passing plays to score fantasy points. And then you're coming off a week where you're 22, 23 fantasy points scored. I think a lot of it is just the week 1 carryover for Bryce.
I think, but it's also, Mike, you got to remember, this is a 27-3 game where it all happens in the very end because they have to come from behind. Like, to me, everything that was in week 1 was absolutely in week 2 until all of a sudden it went into hero mode and we got to, push the tempo and everything changed because it's literally.
Dak Prescott's made a career off of that.
Like, yes, but here's the big difference. Dak Prescott got the fucking bag. Bryce Young hasn't gotten that bag. Right now, Bryce Young not only didn't get the bag, he got the bench. He saw Andy Dalton, the red rifle, go in front of him. Like, to me, there's not much security in Bryce Young. One of the things I don't know if you can find this or, Mike, I saw the amount of times that he snapped the ball where it's 2 seconds or less is just impossible through the first 2 weeks. Like, you're talking about a guy that just literally has got to speed the game, has got to speed his clock up. That's how you end up getting sacked all the time and hit all the time. It's just so easy to see if you're a defense picking that off.
I get it for Bryce. It definitely stands out, and that's probably a good thing to look at, like how quickly the snap is. But the one thing I will say, of watching football over the 2 weeks, I have been like irate as a fan. I've been irate as a dynasty manager of these teams running the fucking play clock all the way down to JJ McCarthy, and the Vikings have done it a billion fucking times through the first 2 weeks, and it irritates the shit out of me. Like, let's go. Baker Mayfield was struggling with it. CJ Stroud was struggling with it on Monday night. Like, these fucking offensive guys, man. Come on, pick a play. Let's go. All right. I know they want to call 2 or 3 plays in the huddle, and each one's got 15 to 20 fucking words in it. But maybe pare this shit down. Maybe there is something to this whole college thing with wearing wristbands and we got little fucking numbers, or we got signs from, we're doing weird symbols and aristocrats and fucking emojis on the side. I don't give a fuck what you do, but get the goddamn play in. Because especially in the NFL, with the way defenses like to disguise coverage, the quarterbacks are going to need time to figure out, hey, oh shit, we are playing too high. Oh no, that safety is creeping down and he actually is going to come on a blitz or whatever the case may be. But getting to the fucking line with like 6 seconds left and then trying to run their motion to offshift the defense, it's like, God damn it, we knocked this shit out.
This is also something that I think, like, if it becomes a story that continues on in Carolina or with Bryce, that's where it stands out. Because, Mike, the one thing is these teams literally don't do preseason at all anymore now. This is a lot to do with reps, in my opinion, man. This is something that you when you don't play preseason at all, and there's nothing like a game that you can truly actually emulate. So I think early on in the season you typically see a lot more of that crap, and I'm with you. It's frustrating. MT2 says Odunze is mad overrated. Let's have this out. I mean, why? What makes you say that? What haven't you liked about Rome the first couple weeks? I mean, you may not know. I've been really calling that this is going to happen for Rome. And Mike, where are you at with this? Do you think he's overrated at the moment?
No, he might even be underrated.
Where do you have him at the moment?
Oh man, it definitely ain't where Keep Trade Cuts got him.
Yeah, I mean, I have him higher than what Keep Trade Cut would say too. So they have him at 16. Mike, I'd rather have him than Garrett Wilson.
Yes,
I'd rather have him, I think, than Marv too. Now, yep.
As it stands right now, I'd rather have him than Tet.
I would too. I was actually already there, but I was very out on a limb, and that was pretty like bullishly aggressively wrong.
I brought it up earlier. I think I'd rather have him than Amech Ibuka, even though I acknowledge, to your point, if Amech continues doing it, there's still a little bit meat left on the bone where we're going to be talking about him in a much different light. But as it stands right now, I feel more comfortable with Rome on my team for the rest of the year than I do Amech with the target share, the volume, the whole works.
Yeah, I think it's really close there. I think I would probably prefer more often than not just to go ahead and have Rome. I think, to me, the problem is if I have an Ibuka share, there's that potential of what I can flip for at the moment. So, and like I'd rather have him than Ladd, frankly, too. Rome. Would you?
I don't know about Ladd. Ladd's going to be a tough one, right? Because Justin Herbert's on this whole nother. As soon as he discovered pussy, this man is just on fire. So
of course,
good for him, man. Madison Beer is working wonders.
Absolutely,
working wonders. So good for Justin Herbert. Ladd's going to be a tough one. I think that's probably a toss-up, but I don't hate it. I don't hate saying that. We're out on Rome. 30% fucking target share in a Ben Johnson offense. Like we were trying to figure out
where they're trailing.
We were trying to figure out who the fuck is the Amon-Ra St. Brown of this Ben Johnson Bears offense this year. And through fucking 2 games, they're telling you loud and clear who the Amon-Ra St. Brown is of the team. It's not Luther Burden, who people were like, that's why they drafted him. It's not fucking DJ Moore, who we've loved for years. It's Rome Odunze, and I don't know why we want to be so reluctant to it. Was last year that fucking bad for him? Was it that bad for him that the sour taste is still there?
One of the things is, Mike, he's one of he's in the top 8 or 9, 10, definitely top 10 as far as targets go. As far as 20 targets in the first 2 games, very few receivers. All names that you will know outside of maybe Hollywood if he made that list. Mike, but the other thing, too, to keep in mind here, right? There. If you go look at the advanced metrics here, dude, there are some crazy numbers for Rome for the first 2 weeks of the season. Deep targets, right? So it's not just he's getting all these targets. 6 deep targets, number 3 in the NFL. Red zone targets, he's inside the top 10 there as well. Red zone target share, top 2, and is 2. Right now, tied in the NFL as far as total touchdowns. That part would be maybe something that you would, maybe not love as much, right? But Mike, when you look at every metric he has that is in the importance, it is insane. These are numbers that you want to chase. If you believe that there's talent at this player at all, everything that's underlined with his metrics, scream, this is a player that's going to fucking be unbelievable. Speaking of which, they have something called expected fantasy points per game at the wide receiver position. He's number 2. So just understand that right now, nothing about this is fluke at all.
I'll give you one more that I really like. Advanced analytic that I think tells a lot about Rome and about what his role is on the offense. First read target share versus man.
Boom.
They're drawing up plays for him anytime they get man coverage. He's number 2 in the entire fucking league in first read target share versus man.
Yep.
They see man, their very first option is, hey, where's
15,
Rome?
15.
Where's Rome? We want Rome.
Yep.
We want to get it to Rome. So it's the Amon-Ra role in a guy who's bigger, stronger, faster. What's not to like?
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing not to like is quarterback play right now in Chicago Bears. That's what you don't like. But on the beneficiary of it, it's not like the Detroit Lions, with Amon-Ra, where they just blow people out, over the last couple of years, right? And then it's like, oh, shit. Guess we're just going to run the ball with David Montgomery, right? This is all we're going to do for the rest of the game. That kind of sucks. No, it's the Bears who, they just lost their best defensive player probably for the whole year in Jalen Johnson. Defense isn't that great. Played well week 1. Pretty piss poor last week. There's a team that's going to be playing from behind and having to throw the ball. So give me the Amon-Ra and a team that's playing from behind, even with poor quarterback play.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, I mean, for the record, this game coming up here versus the Cowboys, I expect absolute fireworks. I think by and large, I don't. Here's the thing. I get what you're saying about the negative game scripts, all that. They're trying to come from behind. To me, there's nothing about this Bears team that we can say at least 50-60% of the time they're not going to be in a negative game script. I mean, their division's tough. I mean, this is a team that
for 3 fucking quarters in week 1, they weren't playing from behind.
True. That's also true.
They were playing from a pretty sizable lead, for fuck's sake. Like, they had that game
all of a sudden they were behind. That's true.
And he still had 9 targets.
Yeah. And I will say this, too. A lot of times with really good coordinators, which Ben Johnson's going into the head coach but still calling the plays, you get a lot from their opening drive. And both times, Mike, Rome Odunze has just been a featured weapon early in the game script. So I guess I hear all this stuff that you're saying. MT2, can you give me, though, what you think is going to happen if they're in a positive game script? Or, like, he has 3 touchdowns, but he's top 5 or 6 in red zone targets, like I said. These are things that are likely to keep going.
Did you say the exact same thing about Ibuka when we brought him up?
What was that? Sorry.
The touchdown take that he just had.
Oh.
Did you say the exact same thing? No. Now that does apply to Amech Ibuka as well, except for the difference is 10% in target share, which is fucking sizable.
Right.
Like, that's sizable.
Well, let me ask you also, MT2, what do you where would you say he should be in Dynasty right now? He's 16 on Keep Trade Cut. Let's get to a couple other questions. And, oh, you know what? Hold on. We had a super chat that I didn't even get to. 12 teams start 10.
Chris.
Superflex was offered Dak for Geno and a 26 first. Other QBs are T-Law, Flacco, and Russ.
I think I do this because your quarterback room is so fucking shit, man. I hope. Well, let me just preface this. I hope the rest of your team is good. Like, I hope the quarterback is what's holding you back, right? Because if you have a lot of holes, I'm not giving up that first.
Yeah, Robo Chris, I think it's important that you tell me the rest of your team, because if the rest of your team has mid on it like this quarterback room does, the first is what I have to hold on to. Do not do this. Everything in my fucking being.
If you're rocking like let's say a Barkley and a Henry, you got good receivers. I don't give a fuck what your tight ends are because they don't matter. And you're saying like, hey, I'm 1-1. I got a pretty decent amount of points scored. I can look at your team and go, well, T-Law, Flacco, and Russ. This is what's fucking in Geno Smith. This is what's holding you the fuck back. I'll trade my first to get that QB1 production from Dak. Put it in my fucking lineup and go, boom. This is the thing that'll put me over the top. But if you're telling me like Adam said, the rest of your team's kind of mid. No, diamond hand the shit out of that first. Fuck it. I'm starting to sell anything. Whatever you want on this team, take it.
Mike, what I will say is this is one of those where, to me, I'm not always right, okay, but I kind of sniff out, like, to me, if someone's sending you Dak and asking for Geno and a first back, that to me smells like somebody knows what they're coming to get here, buddy. Like, I don't think people are just really itching to get off of Dak Prescott right now, unless they are trying to come pick over some potential diamond in the rough. Let me see what Robo Chris's team is working with on the lab here. Let's see if we can find it. Robo Chris, if you could, let us know if you're still here, damn it. I love you. We're going to find it. We're going to figure out this whole team. Joe Flacco. What was it? Joe Flacco? Russ. So this isn't it.
T-Law,
okay.
Geno Smith.
For the super chat, we got to do it, man. And then we're going to get to the giveaway, and we got to bounce up out of here, buddy.
Yes, sir.
All right, Jared Goff. Fields, no. I'll tell you what. Robo, if you're here, let us know. Otherwise, we're going to get into the giveaway. So, we have – actually, they're right over here. We have in both medium and large. All right. We got –
I found it. Fantasy Junkies.
4-0. Let's pull it up.
Yeah, he's 4-0 against the median.
Okay. How is the team looking legit?
Gibbs, Bijan, Jamar Chase, DK, Garrett Wilson, Debo Samuel, Devontae Smith.
All right. Well, then if that's the case, this team's pretty good.
Michael Pittman on the bench. Any RB on a 53 kind of dudes. Kareem Hunt,
Giddens,
Justice Hill.
Bigsby.
Yeah.
I think I will say I would probably –
no second rounder, but he's got his first yet.
I'd say this. I think with your team, you could make the case that you might want to hold off, but I think this is probably one of those that I would be willing to go ahead and do. Here's what I will say. In a situation like this.
Second most points scored in the league with that trash can quarterback group.
Can I tell you what I would do here in a situation like this? Before I just take it, and also, by the way, Robo Chris, now I know why this sent to you. You got the Cowboy star as your avatar, okay? So that all of a sudden it's adding up. You probably want to take this so badly. For $5, I'll tell you to go ahead and take it. But what I would do in the scenario like this, I'm going out and sending this offer, Geno Smith and a first, for the quarterbacks that I have ahead of Dak Prescott, Mike. That's what I'm doing first. Can I go ahead and does this get me a quarterback I'd prefer? And if it doesn't, then I think I'll go ahead and just take this deal. But I'm probably going to go see, hey, is there someone out there that will let me grab? Mike, give me some of the quarterbacks you'd rather have in that scenario. Obviously, the elite ones.
Jordan Love.
There you go. can I go get a player like that as opposed to Dak? Is I think what I would try to do, just to make sure I'm not leaving something on the bone. Yeah, send out those players, whoever they are. If they don't come to fruition, all right, let's go.
Fuck it.
Dak will ball, you know. But I think your quarterback room needs a big upgrade with the players that you have there. So, Mike, these are the giveaways. These are drawings actually. So for $69, we already have the people ready to go. All right, you'll get one of these. Now, here's how this is going to work, Mike. What you get is a freebie. The winner will get a South Harmon shithead bag. All right, this is a small duffel bag. All right, but Mike, you know, as the tier down king or the tier up king, if you want a chance to tier up, you want to press your luck. The bag is $35. If you want to buy the bag, spend $35 for the bag, you'll get a chance to roll and press your luck to get the shoes, which are $210 retail. So $69 gets you the coat. If you win, you can take the bag, see you home, or for $35, it would be $104. You get one roll, 50% chance to walk home with both the jacket
50-50.
50-50. Yep, 50-50.
All right.
We got a wheel ready to go. Let's do the first one first, all right? First things first. Let's get that out of the way if I can. Got it ready to go here, buddy. All right.
I don't know, 50-50 odds, man. I think I pressed my luck. That's just like the game show. You remember that game show, Press Your Luck?
That's exactly what I was thinking about, yeah. So, all right.
Big money, no whammies.
I got a wheel ready to go with all the teams. Here we go. Ready, Mike?
Yeah. Oh, we got a fancy wheel today. We got a real fancy wheel today.
Beagles. All right. Beagles.
Let's go, Beagles.
Beagles wins. So, Beagles, if you're here, I need to know, are we pressing? Are you pressing your luck?
What happens if he's not here?
If he's not here, Mike, it's a great question. I kind of assumed that, you know, you're buying this, you'll be here. If you're not here, what do you think? What do you think we do?
Oh, he's here.
Let's go. He's in. All right.
He's in.
Let's go. He puts
First
it
off,
up.
Congratulations on this one.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a huge one, buddy. Let us know though. Okay. So how it works right now for 69? You got your jacket. Which size are you, by the way? I'll make sure to get these all out for you. And the bag is yours. Okay. These can be out for you tomorrow.
He was quick with it. He said, "Press my luck."
Press my luck. Son of a bitch. God damn it.
Quick with it.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't like how quick he was. He didn't even think about that. Okay. Mike, are you ready to press the luck?
Press the luck, baby.
All right, let's see what we got. By the way, as you see, we got the Halloween edition spinner here. It's about to get spooky overall for the month of October. We got some giveaways coming out for. Matter of fact, let me show you a couple giveaways for the Halloween recap and some drawings. But these are the Halloween shorts.
I got to pair them.
Insidious. All right. But without further ado, let's press the luck.
50-50, yes or no?
Oh my God!
No! What a bad
He wins. You son of a bitch! Look at that thing. All right, pal. 10.5s or 12s. I can't remember which size you were of Eagles, but congratulations, pal. You have taken down the pressure. You pressed your luck. God damn it, Mike. He beat us. He got us fair and square. Let's go. Oh, I will. I'll show him off. I wanted to get my screen a little bigger so you could see it. Comes with the special edition box. And you want to see what you won, buddy? Mike, essentially you just won a pair of Jordan 3s for $35.
That's not bad. That's like that, the Deal Dash commercials that you see?
I don't even think you can get this on Whatnot, you know? So these are the rare airs, buddy. They're fucking so sick. Yeah,
those are sick. Let's go,
congratulations, Beagles. Well done, buddy.
Big Mike, winner right off the rip.
Make sure, Beagles, you hit me up in the DMs. It goes down in the DMs. Make sure you let me know is it medium or large, and then 10.5s or the 12s. We will get those out for you first thing tomorrow. Mike, is there anything?
Yeah, we got one super chat out there, 270 videos. up there.
Oh, wow. I am so sorry, 270 videos.
Gotta get to it before we bounce out of here.
Definitely got to get this apart. And this is a perfect way to end the entire segment here. By the way, if you do want to be, I'll just say this, if you do want to be a part of the merch tier, which we have all kinds of stuff going on, patreon.com/South Harmon. $1 gets you in the door, and in the dollar tier, that's all you have to be a part of the merch section, where you'll see other exclusive drawings. You basically enter into a drawing, you'll have a chance to get a giveaway, and we'll have a tiered system, Mike, for the tier up and tier down. For those will basically be the elite tier, right? The shoes. And if you want to try to press your luck, you too can do that. Congrats to Eagles. Let's get into the super chat here. 12-team Superflex start 11 lineup. Get QJ in a third. Give Jordan Mason.
Let's go, man. Give me fucking QJ in the third.
Listen, I'll tell you right now, QJ is a sell for me on money moves, but for this price, I think I'll take QJ because of this reason, Mike. 1-for-1, I'd probably rather prefer him than Mason, but if it's close, let's say, can't I use a third to go get something that might give me 80, 90, or 100% of what Jordan Mason might one day? I think you're on mute.
Sure was. I got too excited, man. We got a QJ question. Yeah, I do agree with you. He should be a sell. And I think 1-for-1, if you said you guys are crazy, it's Jordan Mason, fine. Fine, sure. That's fine. It's close enough, though. You give me the third, to your point. I like my odds of going and finding some spot start running backs for a third-round pick, right? Or going out and buying somebody like J.K. Dobbins, who I'm going, basically going to give me the same shit Jordan Mason is anyways, and I just got a free QJ out of it. And I get to fuck around and find out if this QJ thing is really for real.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you, buddy. I think that's pretty
There's
simple.
Not a lot of scenarios where I'm going out and buying QJ, all right, just directly, but you give me this one. Plus, I get to like shit on Jordan Mason and just piss people off one more time. Let's go. Fuck yeah. Give me Quentin Johnson third 270 videos.
Thank you for the super chat, 270 videos. Beagles, we appreciate you entering and pressing your luck and bank robbing us. You know, we're going to be bankrupt here for you know with this type of thing. But appreciate that. Appreciate you, 270. Mike,
I want to change some odds for the next
I was about to say, 50-50. We might have to reset this thing. And of course, you see how that thing... Damn it.
Got it.
Congrats, Eagles. Happy that you won. And also, if you guys have any comments, leave them. Other questions for us to get to in the regular comments. We'll see you back here. Same time, same place next week for AMA. We're out of this thing. Peace.